Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and this is the Into the Weekend with BetDSI show that we are starting up again for this year's football season. I'm very thankful for Brent, the headlines manager at BetDSI, for agreeing to do this show again. It's pretty much the most popular show that I've ever done here. It gets a lot of positive comments and a lot of requests about when we're going to do it, when we're going to start doing it up again, and that's, 10% due to the competent job that I do as a host, and 90% due to all of the hard work and time that Brent generously puts into getting great research for us and information that he very generously shares with us. Brent from BetDSI, thanks so much for being back with us this year.
Appreciate you having me back on, Peter.
All right, man. People really, really love this show. I get a lot of requests, emails, and posts on YouTube asking when the show's going to be back, whether we're going to be doing it again, and that's just very impressive. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to get positive comments on the internet in bulk?
Well, it should be easy for your part. I mean, come on, you're a handsome, good-looking guy who's got a wealth of information. So
yes.
For you, it must be easy.
No, with that, I get, one or two good comments a month, covering all the videos that I do. But this show in particular gets numerous positive comments repeatedly, and it's because people love it, because we're getting information from you that you tell us comes from sharp, winning professional bettors, and that is what we're going to do. Right now, we're going to cover a week one in college football. Before we get into that, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the information that you have and how you go about finding the information that you give to us on this show. I mean, when you sit down to research, the games for our show, what information are you looking at?
Well, it's actually kind of a good exercise for myself as well, right, because I basically need to keep track of all the sharp action, who's on what side, and most importantly, as people who've watched the show, listened to the show before, is that the number plays a real key role in terms of where the action is and where the smart action is. I mean, you throw a game up that's minus 3.5, you get sharp action that way, and you get sharp action if you go all the way up to say 7, you'll get sharp action the other way. So you kind of get a real appreciation of the value in the number. I have a list of probably about 10 guys who are really core customers who've been with us for a long time and proven year after year that they're really good in college football. Some of them are total specialists, some are size specialists, some of them play a little bit of everything. So like I said, it's a good exercise for me, just kind of fine-tuning in terms of jotting down the stuff, and when I'm looking ahead, whether I'm going to move a number one way or another. If I've got a sharp guy going one way, public going the other way, and the public is overloading the sharp, I'm usually comfortable with those decisions. And sometimes for your viewers, if it's the case where maybe not, I'm not going to push anyone. We're not out here to tout plays or push anyone on a play, but you might want to stay off a play if you're going against sharp action. That's for sure.
So it's not just that you have like a group of 10 accounts who are just professional gamblers who beat you in every market and they just make money in every market. There's guys who specialize in certain markets, and there's some guys who they might only play totals, or it's only their totals plays that you consider to be sharp, or what?
It's mostly there's guys who will play totals, and that's basically makes up probably 75% of their action, and they're just really sharp in that. There's probably half of the guys only play college football, another half probably play everything all year round, who just know the value of a number, whether it's baseball, football, or what have you.
So how often does this group of sharp accounts change? I mean, like how often how do you add is there a new account each year that comes in? You're like, all right, this account gets added. These guys are like this is an account I didn't recognize before, but now they obviously know what they're talking about, and I count them as sharp.
Yeah, I would say, I keep a list of guys who, it's basically like a watch list in terms of guys who I think that are probably going to be sharp. I can, run a database, a query, and see, how often these guys are beating the number, how often they're on the sharp side as well. I mean, beating the number is one thing, but being on the right side is obviously more important. So there's it takes time for me to add a guy to a list, and if I add one a year, that's probably about an accurate statement.
Okay, and does anyone ever fall off the list? Is there ever a guy who's like beating you long term, and then all of a sudden you start to think maybe this guy isn't what he used to be, and just take him off the list?
Some guys, they may go cold a little bit, yeah. And when you see numbers kind of instead of where it was always going the way, now it's going against them, or maybe someone who's, a little sharper is going the other way. That might be have me, kind of looking at a guy's plays and saying, maybe not. Obviously, a situation where I've got two sharps guys going against each other, I might mention it just because it becomes about the number. This week, for example, we're not, whether we touch on like Troy at UAB, that's a case where I've got guys going both ways. I've had, action on Troy taking the plus. I've had action on UAB when it was a pick as well. So that's a case where I've got sharps both ways, but, it's a case of UAB at a pick. They liked it. When Troy was getting money, they were taking in Troy as well. So it's a case where I'm not going to say, hey, play one side or the other. I'm saying I've got sharp action both ways. So that's a case where you don't really want to follow one opinion or another.